I guess they call it survivor's guilt. Why did I survive cancer? And my brother died at 37 and did not. Why did I survive cancer? And my father died of cancer at 54. Why did I survive cancer? And my grandmother died of cancer at, well, I'm not allowed to share her age. And I know she's moved on, but she's not somebody I went up there in the heavenly choir to be a little upset at me, so I will not share her age with you. But I guess it's called survivor's guilt. Why did I survive and they did not? There were people praying for my brother. There were people praying for my father. There were people praying for my grandmother. And yet they died and I did not. Why? An important unanswered question. So I was really touched in Chosen Season 4, Episode 3, Moon to Blood, with this dialogue between King David and Bathsheba. King David, I asked of our God whether he might be gracious to us and let our child live. My prayer was not answered. Bathsheba, why not? Why some prayers and not others? King David, I don't know. I've never known. Bathsheba, and still you worship? King David, I do. Through sorrow and joy and sorrow again. This is the meaning of faith. This is the meaning of faith. To continue to worship, to continue to believe, even if all our questions are not answered. We resolve to go on living anyway. That happens in many aspects of our lives. Doctors don't answer all our questions. But we still need them. Computer geeks don't answer all our questions. But we still need them. Mechanics don't answer all our questions, but we still need them. I mean, professors, teachers, they don't answer all our questions. But we still need them. Psychiatrists, psychologists, counselors, they don't answer all our questions. But we still need them. So why do we give up on God when God doesn't answer all our questions? Because that's part of human nature. Do you know that people have given up on doctors because doctors don't answer all their questions? But as much as I love you, Brother Peter, they're human. You get the difference? Doctors are human. Computer geeks are human, although they might think themselves gods. Psychiatrists, psychologists, counselors, scientists, mechanics, they're human. But God is not. That's why I love the question resolved that we find in the book of Exodus, chapter 3, verses 13 to 14. Moses asked God, so this is the question, when I go to the Israelites and say to them, the God of your fathers has sent me to you, if they ask me, what is your name? What am I to tell them? So there's the question. What am I to tell them? How do you love God's answer? Well, as far as I'm concerned, it really kind of isn't an answer. It seems to create more questions than it answers. So I much rather refer to it, this is the resolve of his question. God replied, I am who am. Then he added, this is what you shall tell the Israelites, I am sent me to you. I am who am. Let me translate that for you. God is God. God is God, and we are not. God is God, and humans are not. So how do we, as humans, demand that God answer all our questions when our questions may be beyond having an answer that we're going to fully be able to understand and comprehend? Because the reality is God's ways are not our ways. God's plans are not our plans. Think about God's perspective compared to my perspective. Talk about a comparison. So, God doesn't answer all my questions, but I still need him. I still believe in him. I still have faith in him. I still cultivate that relationship with God, even if all the answers haven't come. That's why I love our Gospel of Luke today, chapter 13, verse 7 to 9. The question, he said to the gardener, for 3 years now I have come in search of fruit on this fig tree, but have found none. So cut it down. Why should it exhaust the soil? There it is. Doctors don't have all the answers, so we just cut them down. Relationships, they don't provide us with all the answers. That's it. We'll just cut it off. That's an attitude that really ends up hurting ourselves, right? That the way they kind of put it is, why don't we just cut off our nose to spite our face? Another way to look at it. He said to him in reply, Sir, leave it for this year also, and I shall cultivate the ground around it and fertilize it. It may bear fruit in the future. Give it time. Give it time. Don't they tell you in your relationship with your doctors right now that you need to become your own advocate, right? You need to go and cultivate that relationship with your doctor. You need to be able to better communicate and help your doctor to do a better job. Because, believe it or not, they do have human limitations. They cannot totally read your mind and totally see into as much as good as those PET scans are. You need to cultivate relationships with your counselors, your psychiatrists. You need to cultivate your relationships with your teachers. You need to cultivate your relationship with those computer geeks and your mechanics. You just can't cut them off. Well, the reality is we just can't cut off our relationship with God if we don't fully understand, because we've already learned that God's ways are not our ways. Well, what do we learn about the extra year? God's time is not our time. Maybe God isn't giving me the answer right now because I am so not ready for it. For whatever reason, where I am in my life right now, I'm not ready for that answer. So in God's time, I'm not going to get the answer. So God's ways are not our ways. God's time is not our time. And yet we resolve to believe anyway, to trust no matter what. I love how it's put in our chosen workbook, page 7. We can resolve to believe God will bring about his perfect plan in his perfect time. You get it? His perfect plan in his perfect time. Such knowledge should increase our resolve to trust, even when our questions go unanswered. The most beautiful memory I have in my cancer journey is there I am laying on the surgery table. Dr. Walling is going to cut out all that cancer in me. I was scared to death. And she looked over me, not in her most attractive form with this big old thing covering all her hair and a mask and glasses, but I knew it was her. And she just had me there on the shoulders. She said, "Don't worry. You're in my hands now. Don't worry. You're in my hands now." The peace that I discovered, that I could let go and let her do what needed to be done. Well, I need to do the same thing with God. To just trust. I may not have all the answers, but I don't think I'm ever going to have all the answers. But I believe anyway. I have faith anyway. Let us have our questions transcended by resolve. Let us believe anyway.